Lonzo Ball has had a rough career to say the least. There was a point in time where he was hyped up to be the next great NBA point guard. But what if we made him the greatest point guard of all time? We're heading back to 2009 and making him Steph Curry with a 40-inch vertical. Can Lonzo be as good as Steph?
Heck no! He's gonna be better than Steph Curry in the NBA.
And as a rookie, Lonzo would average a respectable 13 points and 6 assists a game. Unfortunately, though, the Warriors missed the playoffs at the 10th seed, and they were far from championship form. And speaking of championships, Lonzo's goal is to win 5 of them to prove he's the greatest point guard the world has ever seen. Each time he wins, he'll be getting a boost from the upgrade board. In his second season, Lonzo improved to 18-8 a game. But this was not enough since Golden State still missed the playoffs once again. Luckily, though, they drafted Klay Thompson to help Zoe get over the hump. Unfortunately, he would be the help they needed, though, as the Warriors finished by making the playoffs once again. But the Warriors let Draymond Green in the 2012 offseason to continue building a young talented core around Lonzo Ball. With Monte Ellis gone, it gave Zoe the keys to the offense. And with this opportunity, he would average a career high 26 points and 10 assists. Klay also improved to 20 points per game, helping Lonzo lead the Warriors to the AC. But unfortunately, they'd be up against the stacked Lakers team with Kobe, Dwight, Nash, and Gasol. In their first playoff game together, Lonzo and Klay both had amazing performances and jumped to a 1-0 lead against the Lakers. But as we know, the Mamba doesn't take any losses lightly. He came after the next 3 games heated as he scored 119 points in that span. Down 3-1, the Warriors fought back as hard as they could. They struggled to win Game 5 in LA, but they got it done. However, in Game 6, they just couldn't contain the pick and roll. Steve Nash ended the night with 16 assists and a dozen points to go along with it. On the bright side though, the Cancun Warriors does have a nice ring to it. The 2014 season will finally bring good fortune to the Warriors. They finished as the 4th seed in the West with 50 wins. Zoe also averaged an impressive 27-8 while shooting 46% from 3. In the first round, Golden State was up against the Portland Trail Blazers. Both teams would take a game on the opponent's home floor, but after Game 4, Portland would dominate the Warriors. Dame gave Lonzo 30 in Game 6 to send him to the offseason. And here's where things get interesting. In 2015, the Golden State Warriors were bullied teams in the regular season to the very least. With 7 players averaging double digits, they finished the season with 70 wins and let the league know it was their turn to dominate. Lonzo averaged 29-11 on the best team in the league and earned himself his first ever MVP award. In the first round, they beat up against the grit and grind Memphis Grizzlies. Lonzo had a terrible series as he only averaged 20 points per game on 36-31 splits. Luckily though, Klay shot 55% from 3 in the series and the Warriors will sweep the Grizzlies. In round 2, they were up against Portland once again. Lonzo dropped 44 points in the first game of the series, making up for his previous struggles. Portland's guard duo dropped 32 points each, with Dame having 15 assists on top of that. Fortunately for us though, the Warriors would win the game and the rest of the series would be this way. After 4 games of authority, the Warriors would be heading to the Western Conference Finals and meet up with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Coming off of a 64-win season, OKC was a tough matchup. Golden State started the series off by winning the first 2 games in the Oracle, but in Game 3, Russell Westbrook would dominate by having a 38-point triple-double. Unfortunately for them, the next game would be going back to the Warriors. And back at home for Game 5, the Warriors would close the series ahead to the NBA Finals. Hit up against the Cleveland Cavaliers who had Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, and LeBron Ramon James. In Game 1 of the 2015 NBA Finals, Klay Thompson had 39 points and made 9 threes to give the Warriors a lead in the series. In Game 2, LeBron had 11 turnovers and simply handed the game over to the Warriors. In Cleveland, however, the tides would shift. The Cavs would win Game 3 with Kyrie and LeBron still in the show. The Warriors were just too good though, and they'd be up 3-1 after Game 4 in Cleveland. Just when we thought it was over, the Cavs stole Game 5 in Cali to stay in it. Lonzo went cold this game inside his 4 for 13. He played better in Game 6, but LeBron wasn't ready to go home yet. With 35, 14, and 10 efforts, LeBron was forcing a Game 7 in the 2015 NBA Finals. And just when Cleveland thought they had it all, something sparked in Golden State. In the last game of the series, Lonzo and Klay would combine for 67 points, and they finally did it. The Golden State Warriors are officially NBA champions, and that means Lonzo gets his first upgrade. All right, boys, he wears 2, so let's go at number 2, and he's getting offensive rebound plus 15. But there was a problem. Since this video ends in the present day, he only has 8 more seasons to win 4 more championships. Against the odds once again, Lonzo would dominate the 2016 NBA season and win his 2nd straight MVP award. This year, he averaged 31 points and 11 assists and led the Warriors to 66 wins and the 2nd seed in the West. Just like last year, they'd be playing the Grizzlies once again, and the results would be no different. In the second round though, they'd be facing the iso ball Houston Rockets. As expected, Harden got to the line a numerous amount of times, but this style was ineffective against the Warriors. Harden would have his usual high scoring performances, but the Rockets will only take 1 game on the Warriors as they head to the next round. Meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket, the AC the Clippers upset the OKC Thunder in the first round, but the Clippers would then get speared by San Antonio. In the first game of the conference finals, Golden State would win on their home floor, but the Spurs would respond by taking Game 2. The next 2 games would be the same way, tying the series at 2 apiece. In Game 5, the Warriors got a necessary win at home. In Game 6, Klay and Kawhi would go at it. They both dropped 40 plus points and they fought for finals appearance. However, the Warriors came out on top once again, and they were rematching with the Cavaliers in the finals. In Game 1, Lonzo came out hot, dropping 39 points and 11 assists. In Game 2, Kyrie dropped 40 points with 10 dimes, but the Warriors were just too dominant. They will also still Game 3 in Cleveland and be up 3-0 in the series. While the Cavs did win Game 4, it was too late as the Warriors would go back-to-back and claim another NBA championship. And you know what that means, boys. Another ring, another upgrade. And while Lonzo will be getting an upgrade to his already stellar drive and dunk rating, things will be shifting around the league. In the 2017 season, the back-to-back champions would keep up their elite level of basketball, pulling off another 67-win season. However, in the first round, San Antonio would be prepared for the Warriors, taking them all the way to 7 games. Kawhi had a masterclass, but unfortunately he couldn't do it on his own, and the Warriors would be advancing. In round 2, they faced a young and inexperienced Timberwolves team. As expected, the Warriors would send them packing in just 4 games. We had no trouble against the Pelicans either, as Anthony Davis wouldn't be enough to stop the Warriors. And And back in the finals, here were the new look Cleveland Cavaliers. They acquired Kevin Durant in free agency, and this team was absolutely terrifying. In the first game of 2017 NBA Finals, Kyrie Irving was out for vengeance. He scored 34 points to secure the first game, but Golden State wasn't going out with a fight. In game 2, they scored 141 points, tying the series at 1 each. However, in Cleveland, the Cavs would be taking both games 3 and 4 on the Warriors. Against the wall for the first time in a long time, Lonzo played out of his mind, dropping 61 points in game 5 to make the series 3-2. But game 6 would be crushing for Warriors fans. The Cavaliers beat the Warriors and got what they've been waiting decades for. And now, Lonzo only has 6 years left to get his remaining championships. But while Zoe was in the gym, 2017 offseason was wild. We saw a few big names moving free agency. Starting with the current champions, Kyrie decided he would lead his own team, and he would sign with the Boston Celtics. They also acquired Anthony Davis and will be creating a deadly duo. At the same time, the Trailblazers will be signing Paul George, creating a strong core in attempts to beat the Warriors. And last but not least, Kawhi Leonard will be finding a home in Sacramento and pairing up with DeMarcus Cousins. The 2018 season was insane to say the least. Leading the West, the Warriors won 64 games and Lonzo averaged just short of 30 points. In the first round, they were playing Nikola Jokic and Steph Curry, who had just won Rookie of the Year. The first 4 games of this series will see both teams winning all games at home, but in game 5, Curry and Jokic bombed the Warriors, getting a 3-2 series lead. Back in Denver for game 6, the 8-seeded Nuggets would upset Lonzo Ball and the Warriors. For the first time in a long time, Lonzo wouldn't even be seeing the finals. And speaking of the finals, Cleveland won another ring, beating Russell Westbrook's Thunder. The offseason would see a few big names move around. Most importantly though, Cleveland lost both LeBron James and Kevin Durant. With KD going to Boston, he reunited with Kyrie, making yet another super team. The Warriors finished third this year and were facing Denver once again in the first round. However, this time, the series will be going 6 games in favor of Golden State. The second round will be interesting though, as Joel Embiid and Mike Conley had an amazing first year together, winning 62 games. However, the Warriors' style of play was too fast-paced, and by game 5, the Grizzlies looked winded. In the conference finals, the Warriors are up against Portland once again, but they would soon be down 3-1. However, the next 2 games were surprises. Golden State crept up the hole once again and will be headed to yet another NBA Finals. Meanwhile, in the East, the Bucks and Celtics will battle it out in the conference finals. In a heated 7-game series, Boston would just barely come out on top. A Celtics-Warriors finals would be perfect, letting Lonzo and Kyrie go at it once again. The Warriors would win the first 2 games in Chase Center, and they were looking good. Boston won game 3, but Draymond surprisingly had a 21-point triple-double and was the hero for game 4. In game 5, Durant totaled 37 points in an attempt to rejuvenate the Celtics, but the Warriors ultimately won, capturing the 3rd ring in 5 years. And now, Lonzo's 3rd upgrade. Alright boys, let's go with like 56. So we get, ooh, he had a growth spurt, okay. But unfortunately, Lonzo wouldn't be able to use the extra inch this year as he get hurt in the preseason. Losing their star player, the Warriors launched into tank mode, and the starting lineup was absolutely atrocious. But luckily, this season was far from a waste.
With the first pick in the 2020 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select LaMelo Ball from Chino Hills, California.
After reuniting with his brother, the chemistry was unmatched and the Warriors won 50 games this season. In the first round, they see Steph and Joker once again, taking them down to 7 games. Next in line was the 8-seeded Memphis Grizzlies. This series was wild as both teams would go back and forth all the way until game 7. Clay and LaMelo came up big, hitting a combined total of 12 threes in the final game, sending the Warriors to the conference finals. Here, they're up against the Los Angeles Lakers. This team was still pretty young with guys like Trae Young, Luka Doncic, and Julius Randle. They also had Jimmy Butler on the roster, but outside of him, this team lacked playoff experience, and it was obvious that the Warriors pulled off a gentleman's sweep. And for potentially a 4th ring, Lonzo will be facing the Milwaukee Bucks in the finals. In game 1, the Bucks will win at home. Milwaukee had aspects the Warriors just didn't have, such as rebounding and size. In game 2 though, the Ball Bros will put on a clinic, tying this series at 1 each. Back in San Francisco, the Bucks will take both games, and the series was now 3-1. On the road for game 5, Lonzo and LaMelo saw the combined 8 for 30, and this series was over. With only 2 more seasons left, Lonzo had to go perfect to get his goal of 5 championships. During the 2021 offseason, Lonzo turned like never before. This season, the Warriors finished third in the Western Conference, and in the first round, they swept the Spurs, who had 30-year-old Kyrie Irving. In round 2, we were facing the Phoenix Suns. Despite being the lower seed, the Warriors stole the first 2 games on the road. While the Suns would win in this game in San Fran, the Warriors claimed game 4, and they were now up 3-1. But there was Kawhi, slowly bringing the Suns closer and closer to a comeback. With it now being a win-and-go-home situation, Lonzo came to play. He scored 32 points along with 12 assists, and the Warriors be advancing. In the conference finals, we'll be seeing a rematch with last year against the Lakers, and just as you could imagine, we swept them once again. The 2022 NBA Finals saw the Warriors facing the Brooklyn Nets, whose best players were Dennis Smith Jr. and Jared Allen. And possibly his easiest matchup yet, Lonzo averaged 34 and 10 a game, getting his 4th championship. And for his upgrade, he'd be getting better as a defender. In 2023, Golden State played out of their mind, winning 63 games, claiming the first spot in the West. And coming off the bench, LaMelo Ball be claiming the 6th Man of the Year award. We'll be seeing a familiar opponent in the first round, but as the seeding implied, the ACD Nuggets weren't a match for the Warriors. Next up was the LA Lakers, and they'd be facing defeat at the hands of the Warriors for a 3rd consecutive year. The conference finals was a long and hard-fought series. Stretching out to 7 games, LaMelo Ball would be the one to save the Warriors, taking them to the promised land. And in the finals, it would be the Warriors versus the Wizards. In game 1, Andrew Wiggins exploded with 38 points, giving the Warriors a 1-0 start. Game 2 resulted in a loss for the Warriors though, as the Wizards got away by just 4 points. In DC though, things would get personal as Lonzo scored 42 points on 15 for 19 shooting and shot shot 6 for 10 from 3. The following game, we would see LaMelo drop 40 points with 10 boards. The Warriors just had too much depth and it showed. Game 5 will be the final game of the series, as Lonzo came out and scored 53 points, claiming his 5th NBA title. He finally reached his goal of becoming the NBA's GOAT point guard. But what if we took someone with GOAT potential and went back in time? Click here to find out what happens.